And good evening. It's 8:33 p.m. here for live updates. Just wanted to check in on the severe weather going on. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings right now with some supercells that have developed in southern Indiana, riding along the warm front there with that red line. This warm front is going to continue to lift to the north, and these storms will continue to ride the line here. And several of them have become severe. We've had a few tornado warnings a little bit earlier this evening in southern Indiana. And now we're watching these supercells produce quite a bit of hail. We're not getting the wind reports like we normally do. However, we've gotten several reports of some very large hail with these supercells, and we've got some rotation as well that I'm going to show you. But first, where's the severe weather? Where's the worst of the weather going to be tonight? Well, the National Weather Service has put out the favorable tornado corridor here in the near term that includes Bloomington, to south of Terre Haute area there into the Vincennes area. And you can see that kind of that oval circle there on your screen. That's where the National Weather Service sees the area that is favorable for rotation throughout the evening here. So let's go back to the radar and let's take a look here at exactly what's going on. There is one tornado warning right now that's out in Illinois, but none right now in Indiana, but we do have several severe thunderstorm warnings. And so let's go from left to right here with what we've got. So Burns City, you saw one storm move through a little bit earlier today. You've got another storm right here producing quarter-size hail and wind gusts at about 15 miles per hour here with this storm. I'm going to switch over to the velocity to see if we've got any spin. So just some very light spin, nothing major here, at least not as of right now. But again, it's in a favorable area. So as it's moving north and east here towards Monroe County, and that we could see it's that span tighten up a little bit and possibly produce a funnel and even a tornado. We got two storms that are merging together here south and west of Seymour. This severe thunderstorm warning goes for another 40 minutes with quarter-size hail and again winds at about 50 miles per hour. But we do have some possible rotation with this storm. So let's take a look at the velocity here, and we can see very clear here just south of Wigan there, and then the Brownstown area. So we've got two areas of some very broad rotation that we're taking a look at. And then if you look to the storm just to the east of that, east of Crothersville, we also see some rotation here. And this has been tightening a little bit over the last several minutes here. So this is one that we're going to continue to watch here. So if you're east of Crothersville, so the Paris Crossing, Deputy Comiskey area, heading towards Lancaster, pay attention to this storm here. So we've got some very, very broad rotation. So we got these three areas here that we are watching. So the Brownstown area, the Wigan area, and then east of Crothersville area. So this is where we're seeing some broad rotation with these storms. And so any tightening of that rotation, the National Weather Service would then issue a tornado warning with that. But however, with these severe thunderstorm warnings, especially this one here that includes Seymour, does say a tornado is possible at any moment. So it's something that could occur very quickly. And so if you're in one of these severe thunderstorm warnings, know that there is some spin in the atmosphere. And so a tornado could be produced very quickly here with little to no warning on that. So pay attention to these storms here. And then the supercell further to the east here, just to the north of Madison, and has a good hail core here over State Road 62. So between China and Manville Central and Ringwald here. And so let's take a look at the velocity on this storm here. We're getting kind of out of the radar here. And so let me switch radars with that. So not seeing, okay, so some very broad rotation to the south of China in that. And let's go to one more radar and see with that here. So yeah, very broad rotation, nothing to worry about right this second here. But quarter-size hail, wind gust up to 60 miles per hour here with this storm. And so the two areas of circulation that I'm paying most or close attention to would be these two areas right here, both one south and west of Seymour and one south and east of Seymour. These are the two areas that have some broad rotation with these supercells that we're keeping an eye on here in the weather office, and we'll continue to do that as we go on here. So here's the, let me go back to Indianapolis's radar here. Okay, so here's the current radar here. So back in near Effingham, Illinois, is our lone tornado warning that we've got right now here visible on this radar. No tornado warnings in Indiana, but we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings producing some large hail. So if you've got car outside, if you can pull that in the garage before it hits there, that would be beneficial for you. We've had hail reports earlier in Lagodi of over 2 inches in diameter. So some very large hail has been falling with these. It can cause some damage here and keep insurance adjusters busy during the day tomorrow with that. And so we'll continue to monitor these. Let's see here. Let's take a look here. Currently, temperatures outside. You can see where the warm front's gone through. Evansville, 82 degrees. Louisville, 81 degrees right now. Bloomington, 74 degrees. Indianapolis, 62 degrees. And then just a little farther north, Lafayette, 61 degrees. Fort Wayne, 57 degrees. And even cooler up in the Gary, Chicago area. And so you can very well see where the warm front is as it makes its way to the north. Let's take a look here and see exactly where these storms are going to go with this. And so I'm going to put this into motion here, and you can see the storms 9 o'clock tonight. We can see just a few supercells there in southern Indiana, south central Indiana, and they continue to lift. Some of those cells are going to die out here in a few hours with that. And this model has all of them kind of dying out here by midnight with that. And we've got some rain in northern Indiana, specifically northwestern Indiana during the overnight hours here. And then as you wake up tomorrow morning, there will be some light showers around according to this one model here. Let's take a look at one other model that does a pretty good job here of forecasting the events that are going on here with that. So you see the supercells in southern Indiana, south central Indiana. With that, they'll continue to lift to the north. So this will be midnight tonight. So if you're in north central Indiana, you might be hearing some rumbles of thunder as you're going to bed tonight. And those storms continue to lift northward throughout the overnight hours. And then we've got some rain and storms around. This is 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. As we're waking up and getting to work here, you're have some scattered showers around with that. And then throughout the day tomorrow, we do have a slight risk of severe weather tomorrow. So let's take a look at that here real quick while we're here. So a good half of Indiana is in a slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow. And let me zoom in here just a hair so you can get your bearings straight on exactly where we are in this. So, and then a marginal risk of severe weather throughout almost a third of the state with that. And then farther northern Indiana, not in the severe threat here. Tornadoes, the threat is a possibility. It's a low possibility, but it's a possibility here in the green tomorrow. So again, same area will be under the gun again tomorrow. And then hail, a possibility for most of the state. And wind gust coming to severe limits. That looks like it's going to be our most, our greatest threat there again in the same area that we're talking about tonight with the storm. Hang on, I moved that. There we go. The wind area. I moved that to tonight, so I'm sorry with that. So you can see wind and hail, not as big tomorrow, big of a threat. Again, we do have the tornado threat in southern Indiana with that. But we got to get through this evening first. Let's get through this evening first. We've got some severe thunderstorm warnings still around right now. Let's take one more scan of the radar here with that. And so severe thunderstorm over the naval support activity crane there, 1 inch diameter hail. Winds aren't a big threat here, but it's headed towards Highway 58, and it's just to the south of the Owensburg area with this. Let me turn on the velocities, check again here. Some very broad rotation, heading towards Highway 58 right now, but nothing that would cause for an alarm, at least not right at this second. And then we've got our two storms here, one just south and east of Brownstown, and one east of Crothersville that we're paying attention to. So it's got some large hail, quarter-size inch hail with this one, and both of them. And that's what you see kind of in the pink purplish color there inside the red. That's where that hail is. And then we are watching rotation in both of these storms here. So we've got some very broad rotation in the Wiegand area here, and then just to the west of Comiskey and over there, Paris Crossing and Deputy. We've got some very broad rotation with these with this storm as well. So there's where the reds and greens come together, that's where we see our rotation here. So broad rotation, we're going to continue to monitor here in the weather office for you. But if you're in the area where there's a severe thunderstorm warning right now, know that the tornado can develop very quickly. And so have a plan in place and be ready to take action. And then here, let's see. So, yep. So a different radar here, and definitely see that we've got some rotation with the storm here. And then farther east, the storm here in the Pleasant area, in the Canaan area, China area. With that, no severe thunderstorm warning with the storm anymore. So that's good news there. And the rotation has really died out compared to what we saw a little bit ago with that. So we've got some a few supercells that we're monitoring here. There's another one here. Taking a look here at the Otto, New Washington area with this system here. Let's take a look at the velocity. Nothing there that is really showing much. With that, let me switch radars here. One a little bit closer here, that might give us a little bit better read on velocity. So some very broad rotation to the south and west of Bethlehem, where the reds and greens are coming together there, but nothing tight, and, nothing to be overly concerned about right this second with that storm. So those are the supercells that we're watching here. This warm front's going to continue to move north. These storms are going to continue to move northward. With this, we've got a couple of very small storms in Monroe County right now. And we'll continue to watch these. So if you're in southern Indiana, you see exactly what's going on there. If you're in central Indiana, northern Indiana, you're probably, what's going on? Well, you've just seen some light rain throughout the night in many areas, including right now in the Lafayette area towards Delphi and Flora. Just some light showers around right now. With that, you're not part of the tornado watch, which is outlined here in yellow. And so that's good news there. And the other part of the good news is that we've got no tornado warnings right now in Indiana with that, but we do have some storms here that are producing some large hail, and we'll continue to watch this here. So specifically for Bloomington, I just saw that in the chat here with this. So again, some light storms around right now, nothing major here, but we're continuing to watch this storm right here as it moves through the Lagodi area. Okay, and that continues to move to the north and east. So this is a storm to be watching here. You've got development here on the northern side of that. If it holds together here, it's a big if, but if it does hold together here, it'll be in Monroe County. So something to keep an eye on. And again, with this storm here, we're just watching for a little bit of rotation here on the south side of the storm. This is normally where we see the rotation in a supercell thunderstorm. So we see what the different colors come together there. So some very broad rotation there south of Owensboro, west of Silverville. And again, this system right here is moving to the north and east very slowly, very, very slowly with that. So it's something here in Monroe County that you want to keep an eye on, especially the southern half of Monroe County. Keep an eye on this storm right here. And we'll continue to see how the others develop along the way as we get into the next few hours here. So very slow moving storms. It's going to take a minute for them to get here to your area. And some of you have seen 2, maybe even 3 storms roll through here this evening with that. And that's just part of it, the way it's going to be tonight. So we'll continue to watch this. Again, no tornado warnings right now. We do have the tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight for the counties outlined in yellow here. And we've got some supercells that have developed that we're watching over here. Some of them outlined here in the orange are under severe thunderstorm warning due to hail, some very large hail. And then we're also watching for some rotation with these storms. So there's some spin in the atmosphere. And as we take a look at this, we see no tornado warnings right now, which is good. But there is some rotation with some of these storms here that we'll continue to monitor. So I appreciate you checking in with us. And we'll break back in here and on YouTube and on Facebook as needed here. Appreciate it. Have a good evening.